Hello everybody, welcome to the David Health channel. I'm David H, and what I would like to do today is go through and explain a little bit more about what ketosis actually is and what it does. I went into some detail in the video about the keto diet and some of the myths surrounding the keto diet. But what I would like to go through really just in this short video is just what ketosis actually does and why it's so good for the body itself. You see, because ketosis, what the word is and what it actually does, it's when our body doesn't have enough carbohydrates to burn for energy. Instead, what the body then does, it turns to fats within our body, and it makes ketones, which it then can use as fuel. So we're actually burning our own fat to convert it into energy. So say it tends to crop up when people are talking about ketosis with diabetics or for weight loss, as I say, the keto diet, and there's other diets that have that are based, should I say, on a low carbohydrate weight loss, the program itself. So really, it's when you can get into ketosis, it helps you feel less hungry. Because one of the problems we have at the moment is the conventional way of eating. We all tend to eat far too much and too often. Because the more we eat, the energy level, the food that we take in, this needs to be burnt off. What it does, it gives a spike with the insulin within our bodies, and the insulin itself is labelled as the fat hormone. So when you're actually constantly elevated, producing more and more insulin, it's not a good situation in terms of putting on weight, and it's not just fat on the outside we've got to be careful of. It's if anything, it's the fat within ourselves that we need to be concerned about. So that's why really for healthy people who don't have diabetes or aren't pregnant, looking to go into ketosis is a good thing. It can take some time to get into a state of ketosis where the body does revert to burning fat, but it can be anything from 3 to 4 days. But you'll find you'll go into a state of ketosis, even sleeping overnight if you haven't eaten much the previous day. But what you need to be doing to actually keep within a ketosis state is consuming less than around 50 grams of carbohydrates each day. To put that into context, 50 grams of carbohydrates is about 2-3 slices of bread, depending obviously the size of the loaf. And I know that's one of the biggest problems that people have with keto diets and all these low carb diets, is that where does the bread come from? So there's actually, I'm going to put in another video because there's a really good bread recipe. But I digress. We're here about ketosis, but bread is a big loser when you go into the low carb diets. But when you go into ketosis itself, it doesn't just help in terms of losing the body fat. It actually helps to lower your risk of all sorts of conditions, heart disease. People can get quite confused, especially with the keto diet, which is based around quite high fat foods that we enjoy, but specifically a low carbohydrate intake. But what it actually does, it helps with all sorts of things such as acne, cancer itself. A reduced carbohydrate can have massive effects on the cancer rates and developing cancer. The other thing that it does help is if you can reduce your carbohydrates, the nervous system itself, conditions such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, can all benefit from going into ketosis state as a preventative measure. And I think this is a lot of it. It's a preventative thing. The downside of ketosis, and this is one of the main reasons that people don't tend to go down this route. I would be wrong to say that it isn't challenging within the first, I would say the first week. The first week of a keto diet, certainly. I know many years ago there used to be the Atkins diet. There still is. Atkins is probably even more restrictive. I know I tried that many years ago, and it was horrendous. There was absolutely nothing. You couldn't have a speck of anything. There's no sugar, nothing, and it's quite challenging, as I say. But the keto tends to be a bit more, I suppose, flexible and usable, user-friendly, but you still do get the carbohydrate withdrawal, and I think it's really thought that sugar is the main thing that we do miss, even though there's alternatives which aren't good, to be fair. It's important that you stick at it, because once you start and get into this state, then this ketosis state, then your body will change massively. And after the first week, what I do remember myself, I mean, I still follow this now, and it's not as restrictive as says as the Atkins, but you do start off where you have a constant headache, you feel fatigued, the brain, you can't quite function correctly, you can end up with constipation, you get some dizziness, the cravings for sugar is intense, and you can get some bad breath because of the ketosis. It's known as ketosis breath because they don't smell very nice, but it does help. Once you get past this first week, all these things seems to go away, they dissipate. You feel so much better for it, and I suppose the danger is that if you just think you can get away with having a little bit of carbohydrate or a little bit of something, no, because you go back to square one. So it's important, once you do start, to keep on a low carbohydrate intake, so you can keep in that constant ketosis state. Drink plenty of water, that's the other key thing, the water side of it. But ketosis is not a dangerous thing if you don't have underlying health problems, you're not diabetic, or pregnancy. During pregnancy, no, you shouldn't be experimenting with all these things. You should still be exercising, but that's another video. So, ketosis, yes, it's effective. It's an effective way of losing weight, but it's a healthy way to lose weight once you get over the initial stages. So, anybody wanting to try the keto diet, I mean, there's lots of information out there. One of the big problems is with the food. So what I'm going to do, if anybody's ever thought of doing the keto diet, I'm going to put a link in the description for a free, there's some recipes, a recipe book which you can get, have a look at, and this is the type of thing you can be doing. I'm also going to put a video up on some bread, a bread alternative, because there's lots of alternatives for the keto diet that can be quite nice, and it keeps you eating what you're used to eating. So, let's say, have a look in the description, and until the next video, good health to you all, and take care. Bye bye for now.